Well, the election promises are really building up. Today, both parties have been busy spruiking their signature housing policies, each hoping theirs will cement their success with the vital youth vote.
They're just two men standing in front of Aussie voters, asking them to choose their shiny new housing policy.
We stand for increased home ownership.
We're going to help you buy that home.
Pulling out all the stops today, even wheeling out their kids.
I am saving up for a house, but as you've probably heard, it's almost impossible to get in. I mean, we're saving like mad.
You've brought your own son Harry out here. Why won't you support him a bit and give him a bit of help with getting his house?
I haven't finished the excellent points I was making.
Both leaders batting away mounting criticism that instead of fixing the housing crisis, their signature first home buyer policies, Albo's 5% deposit guarantee and Dutton's tax-deductible mortgage repayments, will pour fuel on the fire.
They will both have the effect of enriching those who already own homes at the expense of those who don't or who can't.
They want us to throw more money at housing rather than have more housing. That's just going to push up the prices even further.
Look, historically in Australia, prices tend to rise.
For months, housing promised to be the defining issue of the coming election. These duelling policies now an attempt by the major parties to woo those who hold the power this election, millennial and Gen Z voters.
We have to deal with the reality for this generation.
It's a voting bloc the minor parties and independents have long known would be key to this campaign.
Just put the fries in the bag, little bro.
When Fatima Payman sensationally quit the Labor Party last year, her pitch to Gen Z voters was clear.
To the Sigmas of Australia, I've launched my own party, Australia's Voice.
Accusing the government of overlooking the concerns of young people.
And the dog water major parties are still full of capaholics. Work hard, save up, do everything right, and you still can't afford a home. How is this fair? ICL, TSPMOSDB, FR, wilted rose emoji.
So after breaking from the government to start her party for the next generation of Aussie voters, have the major parties just ripped her riz?
Skibbity.
Fatima Payman is with us now. It's so nice to see you. You are here tonight to launch a big, shiny new tax policy. But before we get to that, I want to know, have you got anything that beats the two major parties' housing policies?
Look, the major parties aren't doing near enough for young people in particular. I mean, we're seeing a 5% deposit that is going to leave young people with, 95% loan that they'll have to take. And the median house price here in Sydney is like 1.6 million. And for them to be taking out such a massive loan on top of the HECS debts that they already have, it's not really addressing the core problem at its roots, which is a supply issue, right? Like, we need to have more houses. We can't just be driving up prices with increasing the demand.
So how would you do that?
Negative gearing, address negative gearing and capital gains tax discount, right? So we've got a policy through Australia's Voice to say, with capital gains tax discount, reduce it by from 50% to 25% over the next 5 years, and limit capital negative gearing to one property, because we know there are single mums out there who would use the investment property to then move into their home. So there is that understanding, but at the same time, it's important to be able to save the $20 to $25 billion that come out of that space.
I reckon Bill Shorten would like to have a coffee and discuss some of those policies with you at some point, given his experience. Let's talk about tax. You've got a tax policy. Tell us about it.
So Australia's Voice knows that when it comes to the two major parties, they're too scared to try something new when it comes to tax reform. But Australia's Voice will raise the tax-free threshold to the minimum wage, which is around $48,000. And that means that Australians who are earning within the minimum wage, should not be taxed. It's just absurd that those who
So
are...
the tax-free threshold, at the moment, you don't get taxed on your first $18,000.
$18,000.
You want to make that $48,000.
$48,000.
That's a very expensive policy. What are you cutting?
Look, the costing, when it comes to costing, that's being done as we speak. But these are hard-working Australians who deserve a tax break. If we can give massive tax breaks to gas giants and multi-million-dollar corporations, we should be able to afford it to our everyday Australians. Don't you guys think?
You've designed these tax policies and you said that young people now deserve to have it easy like the baby boomers did. As the official spokesman for the baby boomers, you won't be surprised, I went back and did some figures.
Oh, yeah?
So a 28-year-old baby boomer in 1992 was facing an unemployment rate of 11%. It's currently 4%, off the back of 17% interest rates on home loans. How's that easy?
Look,
That's not easy.
No, I think there have been privileges that baby boomers have, and I wasn't going to touch on it because, hey, we're here to make Australians' life easy. We are here to address the cost of living crisis and Australia's voice through raising the tax-free threshold to minimum wage.
I'll try and be
We'll address
unoffended. I'll try. It won't be easy.
Not trying to offend you, Steve. You know, we're good mates here.
You might think your policy's mid, but I reckon you'll have a lot of support for it. Fatima Payman.
We want it for a goated Australia, so I know there's lots of people out there.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Fatima.